Okay, welcome back to Let's Get That Money. Today we have a realtor. He would say he is the what?
The greatest realtor on this side of the planet.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Don Payne Jr. I've known him a while. So we're going to sit here and we're going to talk to him. And hopefully we can answer some questions to some people that are looking maybe to buy a house. Maybe you're not in the right place you need to be, some information that maybe can help you get there, and maybe you might be on the fence why you should own a house or own some property, or you looking to maybe start a real estate business. But nevertheless, whatever it is you want to do dealing with property, we're going to get there, and hopefully you get some information. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. You don't want to miss them because we're going to start putting them out every week. Okay, we're going to jump right in.
Yeah.
Introductions. Give us just a quick overview.
Yeah, so I'm Don Payne Jr., based out of Columbus, Ohio. Our real estate company is called Vision Realty. It's a family-owned business that's been operating for over 30 years. I've been in real estate over 10 years, and I help people buy, sell, and invest, and I also invest myself in real estate. And I love helping people, and I just love real estate altogether.
Okay, we're gonna jump right into the first question.
Yeah.
Okay, first question, what we're looking at is, okay, I'm sorry, let me catch up. Okay, what is it that sets you guys apart from any other realtor out there?
Yeah, so I think what really makes us different is the fact that, we're a family-owned business. I think we also take personal care of each and every client, and I think we're very responsive, as well as we have a deep knowledge of our market and relationships with other realtors and just real estate altogether. So when we look at a house, or we take a client through a house, or our team member take a client through a house, we're going to answer questions, bring up thoughts, tell them about problems that we can see, as well as advise them in the right direction. I'll give you an example. I got a client buying a house right now in a suburban school district, and they're very excited about the home. But I told them, make sure you get a sewer line inspection, right? Sewer line is the pipe that goes underneath your ground of your house to the street. You're responsible for. And with trees in the yard, that can need to be replaced within every 10 years, and that can be very expensive to dig that up. And again, that inspection's $300, which can save you $20,000. But again, it's just these little tidbits that people don't know to tell their clients, just because they don't yet have the experience. So I think the big thing is working with the experience, working with the advice, and also working with a reputable company that a lot of people recommend.
Okay. So just kind of looking into that a little bit. So pretty much what you're saying is when you take a client to the house, you're not just trying to sell them that house and get their money. You're trying to make sure that they're prepared, not just for obviously payment, but something else that might be unforeseen. Because a lot of new home buyers, they don't know.
They don't know. And that's the thing, like, it's never perfect, because that's one thing about being a homeowner is you're responsible versus being a tenant. The landlord is responsible if you're a tenant. Being a homeowner, you're responsible. And the thing about that is that, like, you get to ride the ups and the downs of home ownership. The downs are going to be the maintenance and the things that are pop up unexpected that you got to go into your savings to fix. But the ups is when the value goes up, you can take advantage of the equity, or you can sell the house and make money. Whereas as a tenant, the money you put in, you don't get back. So that's the kind of the ups and downs of being a homeowner, and that's the thing we want to advise people on being prepared for.
Okay, and that's another point that just so everybody understands is when you own a home, like you said, when you rent a place, something breaks down, then it's up to the owner to repair that. You are the owner, so you need to make sure that you have some funds set aside or some means to get something repaired if indeed something goes wrong. In a new house, it's definitely possible that even an older house, doesn't matter if you've been in the house a while, things just happen. So make sure that we're putting money up, so that way those unforeseen things you'd be kind of prepared for.
Absolutely.
Okay. What motivated you to be a realtor?
I'd say the first thing that motivated me, my dad's been in the business for quite a while. And when I was in college, I got into network marketing, started doing some, person-to-person sales. I started realizing that I actually liked it quite a bit. You know, I like seeing people happy, like seeing people get results from the actions that I'm taking, and realized that corporate America may not have been really for me. Once I got started and I seen the gratification that I felt from people getting their dream, you know, especially a lot of first time home buyers who didn't even think they could buy a home, that really inspired me to continue to do it, because it's definitely not easy, but it does look more glamorous on TLC than what it may be in reality. But yeah, I mean, that definitely inspired me to keep going.
Okay. Okay, this is a two-parter.
Sure.
What's the best thing and also the worst thing about being a realtor?
Oh man, and that's a one-word answer. The people. The people are the best thing and the worst thing, right? Because the people can make you feel like you had a great day and you're the savior of their life and situation, or they can make you feel like you're the most terrible thing that they've ever ran into. And the thing about buying a home or even selling a home, it's a very emotional process, because it's such a large investment, such a large piece of your life. So when things are going on that even are not in the realtor's control, you feel like you need to blame somebody, and that's most likely gonna be your realtor. And so as a realtor, something I had to learn, took me about 3 years, is to maintain that emotional stability through the process, because you're the one that's supposed to be the stability. You don't go on a roller coaster with the client, right? That's not something you do. They can go on a roller coaster, but you gotta remain steady on the water like a duck on water. You know, paddling fiercely, but on the top, everything looks good, because that's what they need to know, that it's gonna be okay, which it is. Once it all gets closed and settled out, it's gonna be okay. But the people are definitely the best and worst part of the job, because some people can definitely call you after hours or really kind of give you a hard time, and some people will make you feel like, man, they appreciate you so much, they're so grateful for you being in their life at this point in time. So yeah, that's it.
And being an entrepreneur for many years, I definitely can actually understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can have some great customers. You can have some customers to where I'm thinking about getting all black and waiting on them to pull up in the driveway.
Yeah.
But obviously, like you said,
I just had to think of what you said.
yeah, you got to be that. You know, you got to have thick skin.
You said.
And you can't let them drag you into that emotion. So yeah, that is definitely it. And I mean, you have that demeanor that you can, kind of hold on and not let somebody drag you.
Yeah, and it took some years to develop. I mean, I still tell this story about one of my clients that to this day we're good friends, but back in the day I was still growing up in the business, and client was bullying me a little bit, and I was letting it go on. I was feeling bad every day because the lady was giving me the blues on text messages or calling me about this particular issue we were having. Finally, my dad said, "Hey, look, you're being bullied and you need to put an end to it, because I'm not going to do it for you." And I put together a whole thesis pretty much, and telling this lady what was wrong. I tried to meet in person, didn't work out, but I sent her an email, and after that she apologized, and our relationship's been the greatest ever since. But it's one of those things where as a new realtor, it's hard to maintain. Because you don't know what to expect. You may not even have bought a house yourself yet, so I get it that you're not sure, but or not yet confident, but you get there. But that's one big thing. Maintaining that emotional stability is key.
No doubt. And I'll make one more point, and then I'll move on. Because I know there's times that I've had customers that I could not come to a common ground with. 100%. And those customers, I just had to tell them, you know what? It's better for you to find somebody else to do this work for you, because I'm not the guy. So, and I gotta say on that point right there, I think it's probably been in the last 3 years that I've been able to turn business down. Because my dad used to say, man, you don't turn nothing down but your collar, Yeah. And that was the thing. Like, I would take on all kinds of business, all types of, wild situations, all types of goose chases, and just, it seemed like it was gonna help somebody or it was gonna make some money. I was gonna do it, but like you said, nowadays you kind of seen a lot of situations, a lot of scenarios. Being an entrepreneur at this point, you say, nah, don't really sound right. Or it's not really worth the time. And again, doesn't mean somebody else is not able to help that person. And I think really when you're a young agent, sometimes you do need to take those risks with your time. I know it doesn't sound good, but that's how you learn. I gotta say, there's been a couple times that I took some really nice risks with my time and with not really knowing the situation, and it really panned out later on.
with that relationship or even with those home sales. And then there's been other times I wasted time, and not wasted time, I took the time, I invested it, and unfortunately it was a bad investment with that particular client. So it's a win-win, but it takes time to build the book of business.
And like you said, you learn, because I know when I first started out, you had to learn the customers. Like a lot of times I can meet a customer one time and know if they're going to be a problem customer.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't even, and usually that customer, I usually either will not return an estimate or I'll return an estimate so high that it's going to be worth my time to deal with it. But so you have to maintain your peace. At least with me, that's important. I gotta maintain my peace, and I can't put myself in a situation to where I'm not going to be at peace.
Absolutely.
You know?
And again, we're talking about as experienced entrepreneurs, and I think when you're starting out, you got to just take the risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, then if you need the money, sometimes you got
you're gonna have to learn the lesson one way or the other.
You gotta bite the bullet.
You're gonna learn the lesson by getting coaching or have somebody mentor you, or you're gonna learn the lesson by just getting the experience. And a lot of people are entrepreneurs because they're somewhat hard-headed and they rather just go ahead and learn some experiences. Most time, most time entrepreneurs, that's just what makes them kind of good, is being a little bit hard-headed.
Yeah, and then obviously the to be a good business person or work with, I don't care what it is you're doing, you have to be able to learn from other people's experience. So if you have people around you, talk to them.
Yep.
Learn from their experiences. Obviously learn from your own experiences, and you don't repeat those things. So that way now you already got a head up. You can have a little, okay, well, I've talked to such and such and he kind of told me this. So make sure you take advantage of all your resources. Everybody that's been doing something that you want to do, or that family member, friend, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Talk to that person and let them help you out to where maybe you don't have to get the lumps and bruises, because I've got lumps and bruises.
Yeah, and I do too. And my dad had plenty of his own, but I can't say I always listen. So sometimes you just gotta learn it your own way. And sometimes, especially from folks that been in business, or they seen a neighborhood, or they seen a situation a long time ago, things change. And sometimes you not listening, you discover a niche that does really well for you. So that's another thing about, again, being an entrepreneur. Sometimes being hard at work, because James, you've been an entrepreneur over 30 years, 20 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. So it's like, you might have told me something, and I'm like, well, times have changed, right? And I go do it and it works out, or I go do it and I learn, that he was right.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to it.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Is there any time that you question, and this kind of ties into it, but is there any time that you actually question your decision to be a realtor?
100%. 100%. I think that took me about 6 years to make the money that I felt like, oh man, like I'm able to live,
Make a decent income.
Make a decent income.
Okay.
To make a decent income. And I think that the first 3 years, 3 or 4 years, I questioned, like, could I be doing something else? Could I go relocate and live somewhere else and do better? Could I consider having another job and this job at the same time? Should I go back to college? I had a lot of insecurities at it. That I drive a flashy enough car to be a realtor. I think there's a lot of insecurities there. But I think once you start kind of building your book of business, you put your little savings back, you get a little more comfortable with your decision. And some people, that's their first year. That just wasn't mine. I think there was an age and experience thing that I had a gap on, that I had to fill that gap. And I think some people, they might come out of corporate America and they're making great money their first year as a realtor because of the relationships they already have built. So it just depends.
Okay, how were you when you got started?
20 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was 20 years old when I got started.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the end of part 1. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. And if you have time, take a look at part 2. It'll be just as informative. Thank you.